Who am I? The girls them sugar.
Welcome back. This is the Who Am I Pod. We are your hosts, Kevin Wren, King CJ. King, how you feeling today?
What it do? What it do, baby? Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, we living good, man. Feeling good, man. Going into this month been going by fast.
Bruh.
This month has been Speedy Gonzalez. Like every time I look back at the count, I'm like, God damn.
You know what
This is
else
my
was
last
Speedy
full
Gonzalez, though? Oh,
You said what?
no, I was going to make a joke, but
Oh,
I'm about to say something
I don't even know who Speedy Gonzalez is. I don't even know who that is. I just know it's the
He
same.
probably got canceled. You know, they canceled everybody, bro. They canceled, what was it, Pepe? Not Pepe.
Boy.
What's the skunk name? They canceled the skunk. They canceled Dr. Zeus.
But they tried to cancel Eminem on TikTok, but that lasted for like all of 30 minutes. like, get the fuck out of here.
They tried to cancel the black again?
Bruh. They said, you can't even wear black no more. You cancel black color, man. You can't do shit, man. Fuck. Well, shit, let's talk about shit that's not canceled before we get canceled. Let's go ahead and get into some new music. We got quite a bit today. King got a bunch of singles. I'm a fade away, let him talk about them, and then we're gonna get into a couple albums.
Yeah. So my single is Headshot, which is Little TJ, Polo G, and Fabio Foreign. I'm a big fan of that sound, that New York drill sound or that UK drill sound, wherever you're from, whatever you can root it back to wherever you come from. But ever since Pop Smoke passed, I feel like it's just been a hole there for like who's gonna fill that sound, who's gonna take that torch. And I've been a huge fan of Fabio Foreign. Every time he dropped on here, I've been highlighting it. And then we mentioned Little TJ a couple weeks ago. We talked about his ability to not only do this type of music, but also the more gangster type of music and more of the women driven music as well. And then Polo G from Chicago, he's been a frequent collaborator with everybody in that New York drill scene. So this is just a dope project with 3 different artists that have been in the scene, have been making good music with this vibe. So again, that's Headshot with Little TJ, Fabio Foreign, and Polo G.
Dope.
And then for R&B, there's actually a remix of Good and Plenty with Masego, Alex Isley, and Lucky Day. Now, I highlighted this a while back when the original version with Alex Isley, she just has such a timeless sound. Like, it's just so smooth, so like Sunday morning or Saturday morning, clean the house, like auntie vibes. Like, it's just like great music. It's like timeless. And we've always given Lucky Day his roses on this program as well. And just to see them come together, and then Masego also, who's just been dominating lately, those sounds in that lane, kind of like what I was just talking about with Fabio, Lil TJ, and Polo G, just to have people in that lane come together and create that good, like timeless music is just really refreshing. And R&B hasn't missed this year, and I'll talk about that more on the albums. But this is just a great song that got better when Lucky Day got on it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So,
all right, we in the albums now.
Yeah. Let's hit these albums.
Okay, well, shit, yeah, I'll get started with Young JB. Hold on, let me get to it. Justin Bieber released an album called Justice. I don't know why I'm laughing already. It's just funny because I wouldn't expect me to have to listen to this, but my sister sent me one song, which was Peaches, and it had Giveon on it and Daniel Caesar. So, is that? Yeah. And so I listened to that. I really enjoyed it. It was really R&B vibe. It wasn't very poppy. So I liked that song, and I went and said, well, I'll go ahead and listen to the rest of the album. What they do a good job of is it does play the fence very well between pop and R&B. He has it seems like it's a couple pop songs, and then he'll throw in an R&B song. A couple more pop songs, throw in another R&B song. So it is good for people that you want to listen to it. You just want the R&B joints out of it, where you can skip a couple pop songs. You want just the pop songs out of it, which is really probably his fan base. If you really think about it, it's really more pop than it is R&B. So it is good that he knows I got to kind of play both sides of this to make a good project. So he did that very well. The length of it is actually really good too. 16 songs, but only 46 minutes. I could always appreciate that as well. it's some. I don't know what the theme was. I know it says justice. There was some MLK interlude. Martin Luther King was speaking. They had a good clip in there, about a minute or 30 seconds, something like that. Holy was a song with Chance the Rapper, kind of a religious song, but it didn't really. It wasn't really like, I didn't get the justice vibe from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. It just seemed like a collection of songs, and every once in a while there was like a line about justice or freedom or something like that. And then of course the random interlude from Martin Luther King, which probably shouldn't even have been in there. I don't really understand why that was there. Um, it was good, but it wasn't great. It's kind of like sitting in like not the worst part of the plane, but it's like the premium plus. It's like right before you get to the first class. It's like right in there. It's like somewhere in there. It's like sitting somewhere in there listening to this album. It's not bad, of course. It's better than the worst stuff, but it's not as good as the first class either. So it's somewhere in between there. That's why I kind of rank this. So that's Justice by Justin Bieber.
You think this is cultural appropriation?
I'm not gonna say that, but I really would like it if you took MLK off of this. I really would have appreciated for that not to have been in the middle of, especially just because of like where he put him at. Like, it was right. It was after Unstable, and then the next one was like Die For You, and I'm like, if you hear those songs, like, they don't scream Martin Luther King in the middle of them. Like, just say it. But he been, I guess some people could say that. I mean, people say that about a lot of people. People say that about Bruno Mars, but there's right ways and wrong ways to do it. But since you said it, I'm never gonna forget One Less Lonely Nigga. That was his best song ever. So One Less Lonely Nigga is niggas do be lonely. So
the one less lonely nigga interlude with MLK.
Having one less lonely nigga is a good thing in life. It's a good thing in life, man. We need that. We need like, it's about a nigga need a hug or something. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He deserved that. Justin Bieber paid his dues, right? I guess.
One less lonely nigga, man. That's timeless.
It's crazy. That's a classic. That's a classic.
Drake out. Everybody asking for Drake classic. We all know that Justin Bieber got the classic.
Justin Bieber got.
He got the classic.
Drake just need to remix that one. Put sample that. Put it on his next album. He'd be good.
Oh man, that's fucking hilarious, dude. So to stick in that good, not great, I'm gonna highlight a R&B album that came out by Joyce Rice, and this album is called Overgrown. And I just found this scrolling through the R&B that just came out because, again, this year, even last year, I think even going back to 2019, just R&B has just been so consistent with new talent and good quality music. Just scrolling through this, I saw a bunch of features on there that like really surprised me. Like, I saw Masego, I saw K Tronada, I saw West Side Gun, I saw Freddie Gibbs, and I saw Umi, who I highlighted before, and Lucky Day as well. And I'm like, why didn't I hear about this? Like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? And then I saw that she had the song on there, Falling in Love, with Lucky Day, that was on Lucky Day's project. And when Lucky Day's project came out, I highlighted that he was it felt like he was the feature on some of his songs, and he was kind of highlighting the women, and it kind of highlighted the title Table for Two, kind of brought that to the forefront. And I think that's why I kind of like was drawn to this. I was like, I heard her before. I heard this name before, and it was on that song with Lucky Day. And then listening to this album, and then listening to the song with Lucky Day, the song with Freddie Gibbs, and all of that, it's just like I hear like talent. Like, it isn't like fully there yet. It's kind of like LeBron in his first couple years in the league. Like, you got everything it needs to be special, but you're just not there yet. Like, it's just a couple things missing from this to be like Kiana Lede level, like Summer Walker level. Because she has an amazing voice. She kind of reminds me of like Ariana Grande, but she doesn't have like that range. Like, Ariana can hit like Mariah Carey notes, but she has like a soft voice like that. But then she got songs with Freddie Gibbs. You know what I mean? She got a West Side Gun interlude on there, which I wouldn't recommend you listen to. Like, it was kind of like, I didn't want my man to go out like that, but it exists. But it's just a dope project, and like you said, it's not like that first class, like the higher tier. And like, I've been and forgive me if I get long winded, I've been listening to like Timbaland on Twitch, and he talks about his ear is accustomed to a certain level of music to where when he hear whack stuff, he has to turn it off immediately because he thinks it'll ruin his ear for hits. And I'm nowhere near Timbaland, but just on this podcast, we've been reviewing such high quality R&B. It's kind of hard for me to hear good or, you know, all right R&B because I'm so accustomed to great and amazing R&B. So I think that she has everything it needs to become great. I'm looking forward. I'm a fan now, but I think she can get better. But this project is really good. Overgrown by Joyce Rice.
Nice, man. That I'm telling you, bro. I mean, when you get when you get upgraded from that the regular to the middle class, bro, it feel good, right? But when you've been sitting in the first class, bro, like when you've sat, it ruined every other experience. So when you hear that great shit, it does ruin all the other experiences. And that kind of happened here too. So we're gonna keep that analogy going. The plug I met too, Beanie the Butcher and Harry Fraud. It's good. You know, like it's good. It wasn't fantastic. And this is just really in comparison to his other projects, and because he releases in so much frequency, you can easily draw those comparisons. So this one is only 9 songs, 28 minutes, so a nice little pack for you to listen to. Got some features from Fat Joe, 2 Chainz. Have French on. Did we really have to have French on here? Did we really? We didn't need the Montana, man, but he was on here too. Being a Butcher, you gotta love how he raps because it's very believable, right? Like you might hear some people talk about drug talk, plug talk, being the shooter, things like that. When Being a Butcher say, "I used to be a shooter," like you believe him, like you know what I'm saying? Like you believe when Being the Butcher say, "Yo, I used to take that shit from Buffalo all the way down to wherever." You believe Being Butcher, right? Because he's so descriptive in what he's talking about. He explains every detail of the situations that he's talking about. And it's very, very well did. It's very, very well did. And that's why this is not bad, right? This is like, again, when we talk about planes, you're already on a nice jet by listening to Being the Butcher, right? So you might be sitting in the back or the back part of that plane with this one, or towards the middle maybe. But it's already a nice plane. The plane's already nice. It already has all the facilities. You're good. So you have everything that you need in this Benny the Butcher album. And you have everything that you need every time Benny the Butcher comes out. He's going to give you a good product. I would argue he might even give you a great product because this is even better than a lot of other rappers that, you know, we've been hearing as of recent too. So it's not bad. It's just not great for him. It's pretty good for him though.
Yeah, it's tough being a member of Griselda or having that strategy of Griselda where you're releasing so much because it's kind of hard to keep up that pace of impressing people. That's why a run like Drake is so amazing because yeah, he keeps breaking records. He keeps releasing hits. He keeps elevating the conversation about whenever he drops. And kind of Griselda is like, they keep releasing good projects. You know what I mean? Like Conway just dropped a good project. Benny just came off of one of the album of the years, in my opinion, with his one with Hit Boy. And this is just really good. But kind of like we was talking about R&B, it's like we've heard better. Unfortunately, like the expectation is greatness from now because we've seen Benny go up like this as he's gotten with better producers, as he started to collaborate with more people. So the expectation is kind of unrealistic at this point. And this was just like, all right, you didn't lose anything, but you didn't gain any more momentum. Whereas like Griselda has been skyrocketing as of late. But needless to say, this is a good project. You know, we like Kevo said, we could have did without the French, but you know, that's what we got to take. You know, we just take it with the package. But
I can't remember the last time I liked a French verse, man. It's getting pretty bad for me out here, man. I don't remember the last time I've liked a French verse. Like I'm getting to the point where when I see him on the album, I'm like, nah, I gotta listen to, because it just hasn't been good for him. Like for me at least, it just hasn't been good for him. Young Thug said he was better than him, and it just ever since then it just fucked him up, man.
Ever
Nah.
since that, he win you over when he won that versus with Tory Lanez.
Man, come
He
on,
win
bro.
you back. Oh, okay. My bad.
No. Ain't worried about nothing. Oh man, come on, bro. You got another album?
Yeah, I got one more album.
All
It is OT the Real with the Irishman, and he's a Philly rapper that kind of is in the lane, kind of like Griselda, but more like Jim Jones. Like if you listen to or if you like Jim Jones' recent projects like El Capo, you can tell that the production was handled by the old Dipset producers, Heatmakers, and that's to me my favorite beats. Like just heavy samples, like soulful, but just gives the artist enough time to just spit bars. And OT the Real had the Heatmakers handle this project. Excuse me. Had the Heatmakers handle this project, and even had Jim Jones on a project. He had Joel Ortiz on a project, and 8 songs, 23 minutes, short, concise, but kind of like how you were saying with Benny, it's just when I hear him talking about this stuff, it just feels real. It just feels authentic. It just comes through. And just being from the same places that he's been, talking about CFCF and knowing when you get locked up, how you go there, and knowing the blocks that he's talking about, knowing the situations, even him saying like free AR Ab and knowing Ab's situation and being locked up is just, to me, it hit home because it feels like Philly. You know what I mean? And we got Uzi, we got Meek, but they've kind of elevated to almost like pop star level, to where it's like they represent more than Philly. And I think OT the Real, kind of like what Benny does for Benny and Griselda do for Buffalo, kind of like what Jim Jones does for New York. They just hone in on that gritty city feeling. And I think this project is a good representation of that.
Well, shout out to Philly, man. Come on. Since Meek Mill won't do it, somebody got to. No, all right, let's get into the next topic. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Grammys. We're gonna start off with just the winners of R&B and hip hop. That's kind of what what this podcast is about. So we'll start with that. We'll get into the performances. We'll rank them. Tell you what we thought about all of them, or at least the ones that we feel. We're not gonna be over here talking about Billie Eilish on here. Well, King might, but I won't. Let's King might, but I will not. Well, let's get it. Let's start with R&B, man. Best R&B performance. That's Black Parade was the winner. Beyonce. I won't get into all of the people that were up for that category unless it's somebody that we feel like should have won in this category. I don't know if you had the list too with you, by you King, but yeah, that seems like a fair winner to me.
Yeah, I think we talked about this when the Grammy nominations came out. It was like Beyonce had to get one of these just for the culture, just what either the album needed one or the song needed one, just for what it represented, especially in these times. So that was she definitely deserved that. Yep,
I'd agree. Best traditional R&B performance, which again we don't know what this stuff means. Anything for you was the winner? Ledzy?
I got. Mama said if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say that at all.
All right.
I don't know none of these people.
I don't know anybody but Chloe and Haley. I've never heard any of their music. Let me be clear, but I think it's Chloe is the one that I keep seeing her doing covers. She can blow though.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say the one that be busting it open on TikTok.
The other one be busting that. I don't know how old they are, so I wasn't gonna say that like that. I wasn't gonna hit the Kylie Jenner challenge, so I don't know what. God damn it!
Oh, yeah, I don't see nothing wrong.
No, hold on. We gotta find out this. We can't be here, no. Watch 10 years down the road, this is gonna blow up, and then that line right there, go be the one to get us canceled. All right, well, Chloe can sing. Haley, huh?
They 22 and 20.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, Chloe can sing. Haley busting that thing open then. But yeah, Chloe, the one I'm pretty sure is. I haven't heard any music from them, but I heard her do a bunch of covers that people just somehow gets to my timeline, and she can really see. Yeah, I don't know any as far as the best traditional R&B. I don't know what they're going with there, so we'll just keep going. Best R&B song, Better Than I Imagined, won. Robert Glasper. It's a bunch of people and a bunch of names that I can't say either. Those are all the songwriters. Um, hers on there. I can't say not any other one of those names on there, unfortunately. Um, I would have liked to see Collide win, which was from it's a couple years ago now, right? The Queen and Slim soundtrack.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have liked to see that win. Black Parade's on here as well. Chloe and Haley got another song here to do it. I really thought it was going to be their time because they always. It seems like there's always a theme for these, and somebody always just racks them up. Always, yeah. I definitely thought it was going to be Chloe and Haley. But what you got to say about this one? The best R&B song.
I think it's dope for her just to be recognized at this level. It's a couple people, and we'll talk about this as we get into the rap categories, that I just feel weren't and don't get the credit they deserve for the persistence and consistency. But I think it's dope to see her, like the amount of music she's been putting out is like pretty like consistent, and it's been really good music. So to see her finally be a Grammy Award winner is dope to see. I'm happy for her.
Yeah. I am really shocked. Like it really isn't. Every year is somebody, right? Whether that be Cardi B, I think Lizzo had a year. Billie Eilish was probably last year. I think she took about 5 home. It didn't seem like this one was anybody's real year this time. We'll get into. Yeah, okay, we'll figure it out. Best progressive R&B album. Again, we have no idea what these means. It says containing at least 51% playing time of newly recorded progressive vocal tracks. I have no idea what that means, but we'll go with it. Again, Chloe and Haley was on this one. They did not win. Janae Aiko was on here. She did not win. It is what it is by Thundercat. Thundercat. Oh. Thundercat. That's exactly
the cartoon.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We can't let Thundercat win. We can't let Thundercats win, bro.
The crazy thing is Thundercat is like a legend, though.
Dog, what?
But we don't give a fuck.
No, I don't give a fuck. I don't care at all. I don't care at all. Okay, so this one's a robbery. This one's definitely a robbery. Best R&B album. John Legend won with Bigger Love. I really do like John Legend. I don't listen to his music a lot. I just like him. I like when I do hear him. But Giveon Take Time is the best album on this list without question. It's not even close, and it's a robbery. Yeah, it's a robbery.
Yeah, I felt like this was more of a political win than it was a basis of the actual music. I don't even think John Legend had the impact when his album dropped. And I think Giveon is growing into a star before our eyes, but the music speaks for itself.
Yeah, I'd agree. Next one, best rap performance. I would have really liked to see Lil Baby win this with the Bigger Picture, especially with the performance that he put on, and we'll go on that later. But it was going to be hard to beat Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce Savage. Even though that song feels like it came out 2 to 3 years ago, I don't know how it still is eligible for this. Did that really come out in 2020?
The remix did.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Not the extended version.
The deluxe.
Not the deluxe. God damn it.
The double
so yeah,
deluxe.
I fucking hate deluxe, man. The double seaweed deluxe, man. I hate it.
It's gonna cost a lot of bucks.
It's gonna. Oh shit, man. Fuck nah, man. Yeah, I can't. So Jack Harlow was on her What's Poppin'. This was actually pretty good. Bop by the Baby, Deep Reverence by Big Sean featuring Nipsey Hussle. This was a decent one. There were definitely better rap songs that probably could have been changed in and out with a couple of these, but this is probably the most solid one we've seen today that we talked about.
Yeah, I think Lil Baby should have won this one.
Yeah.
Just when
it's the best song on here.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this when we talk about his performance. Like rap performance, like what he was saying on there, that's some of the best rapping I've heard last year. Like seriously. And I get it, this is another political one. And you said like you don't think nobody was highlighted. I think this was Meg's coming out party. I think last year or the year before was like Cardi's, like here, she's here to stay. I think this was Meg's, like this Meg is here now.
What she get 3? Did she get 2 or 3?
I don't remember how many she got.
She got about 2 or 3. I know that
Yeah.
one. No, that might be right. That might be right. Also, Dior by Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke was on there. The next one is Best Melodic Rap Performance. Rockstar, DaBaby, Laugh Now, Cry Later, Drake, Roddy Ricch, Travis Scott. The only thing all those people have in common is that they didn't win. Lockdown, Anderson .Paak is the one that won that, which is ironic because it doesn't feel like that's a. Out of all those people, this person is not a rapper. Like this person has no business being in rap performance. So it's kind of weird. So at all those other artists, I don't know, man. I don't know. At some point, the Grammys got to get better with this stuff. At some point.
Yeah, this was. This should have easily been the box. This should have been Roddy Ricch, like
without question.
It should have easily been him. But
Travis Scott, highest in the room, shouldn't even be on here either.
Exactly.
If I'm being honest,
this easily should have been the box. And then Rockstar would have been a close second to me, but they just got this one wrong, man.
Yeah, this one was botched bad. All right, best rap song, you guessed it, Savage, Beyonce, Meg Thee Stallion. So not really much to say there. Rockstar was there again. Laugh Now, Cry Later was there again. The Box was there again. The Bigger Picture. It's really disappointing to see Lil Baby not win with that song, man. It really is a little disappointing. But you're not gonna beat Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce. It wasn't going. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Not much to say there. Best rap album. This one is actually pretty interesting. Nas, King Disease, he won that, which we both thought was a really great album at that time. It feels a little weird that he won that and almost no Griselda albums were on this list. Just kind of feels a little odd to me, especially because those are like, they not the same type of rap, but they in the same building. That makes sense?
Yeah. And I think it's dope. Like, Nas is long overdue for a Grammy. Don't get me wrong. Nas is long overdue for a Grammy. But to me, I think Alfredo was the best rap album here. I think Alfredo was the better album, but I think this was just, hey, Nas got a Grammy, y'all. And I can't be mad at that because we've been waiting for that. It's kind of like when Leonardo DiCaprio, he didn't get like, what was it, like an Oscar or whatever like that. But he's been in so many classics. It's like, all right, let's give Nas one.
Yeah. That's real. Well, that works. I think that's all between unless you want to get into the best country solo performance.
Yeah, man. I just think Stick It in Your Country Song by Eric Church. A highway robbery, dog.
Bruh, the funny Black Like Me is hilarious for a country title, bruh. Black Like Me.
I'm gonna look up Mickey Guy. I think I went to school with a Mickey Guy before.
I need to find out who Mickey Guy is. Mickey Guy better be black, bruh. If Mickey Guy ain't black, I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling. That's somebody need to be canceled. If we talking about. All right, fuck. Black Like Me, bruh. Take care, man. Take care. This is gonna be the theme. Y'all take care, man. Yeah, y'all take care. All right. Let's get into these performances, man. So, I say let's go with. We'll just start with. Let's go with DaBaby now. Let's talk about DaBaby. Would you consider DaBaby and Roddy Ricch performances together or not together?
I'll put them together.
Let's put them together for this.
Yeah, I'll put them together.
Well, I actually really enjoyed Roddy Ricch's part where he was on the piano. He sounded really good. Like, that's actually what's surprising to me. Like, that he actually sounded melodic as he did on the track, right? Like, he actually sounded like he could actually, sing just a little bit. It went into the box, which was actually really cool too. Not too much on that end. It was just kind of him on stage. It was like a big kind of Zeus head on there. Not too exciting, but it was still pretty cool to see him out there at the Grammys. Anything on Roddy Ricch's part of it?
No, it's it kind of made me wonder, like, yo, I think I'm overdue for some new music, you know, because I think he debuted the song "Heartless" on there that got released, but after what was it, not bigger than me? That's Little Babies. But after his album in late 2019, it's like, yo, bro, like you kind of opened up that lane, and we kind of been waiting for another project from you. So I think this was kind of like the cap on. All right, that album was good. We know it's good, but we need something new.
Yeah,
because he's super talented. Super talented.
Yeah, without question. It is probably time for him. The baby. I'm gonna let you talk about the baby. I don't like Rockstar. Like I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I just don't like that song. It's not that good to me. So it's kind of hard for me to watch the whole performance of it. So I'll go ahead and let you talk about Rockstar.
Initially, I wasn't a big fan of Rockstar, and I still don't like the song, but I appreciate what it represents for his career. Just seeing the baby making the same, from seeing a baby shooting and killing somebody in Walmart to being on a Grammys, it's like, I'm glad that it got to this moment, you know, and it's more of a pop crossover record, but I feel like he was able to be an artist. And we know the baby from like beating up people in the Gucci store and all that stuff. It's like kicking fans. And back in the day when he used to come on stage with the diaper on, it's like to see him elevate to really be a rock star. We got like old white ladies in the back singing behind him. It's like the growth to me is dope to see somebody transition from that environment, from that area, because I mention this every time when I highlight the Fabio Forans, the Griseldas or whatever. It's like, we have to highlight and give credit to these type of rappers because it gives an outlet and it gives these people a chance to escape that lifestyle. So when you see the baby and it's documented exactly where he come from, the circumstances that he came and he rose above, to see him now on a Grammy stage, I think that the moment represented a lot to me. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the song, but to see him in that environment, to see him surrounded by that many musicians, and to see him like really planting his foot down in the game, I think that it was dope and big for his career.
Yeah, not only that too, is one thing that I noticed about him, he looked very comfortable on the stage, right? Like he looked extremely comfortable. Like when they say like act like you've been there before, like he looked like he had been there before. And we'll talk about that a little bit later with some of these other artists. They looked a little bit nervous to me, which kind of came off weird, especially because of who they were. But just that confidence alone gave it to me a good performance. I'm gonna probably give it about a 7, but only because there were 2 or 3 performances to me that were fantastic. So in comparison to those ones, I don't think I can give it a 8, like a 9. I can't give it there. So 7 is probably where I'd rate that one. What you got?
I don't know if I can give it a number, but I would just, it's good. Yeah. Not like amazing, not great, not nothing. It's like, I'm not mad that I watched it. Like,
yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Okay. Yeah. What about Post Malone?
See, this is the thing, bro. I actually love that song. Like, I'm a weirdo. I got weird tastes or whatever. Like, I just feel like that song, like on an album, listen to it in your headphones, like musically, that's like dope music. Like how it switched up from the melodic part until it got like hype, and then it kind of got trapped, and then it goes back to like the melodic. I think that song, like if you listen to it, is amazing. That performance felt like an occult ritual, though.
That like, was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
And it's crazy because he's in the song, he's talking about like the evilness of Hollywood and everything that's going on in Hollywood and addressing it, which is why I like it, because you see all this stuff coming out about, Hollywood directors and all these people in scandal. So it's like, yo, it's dope to highlight it. But then when you on the stage performing it, it's like you a part of that. It didn't match the vibes. And then his energy level just wasn't there. I think it probably would have been better like if they had a crowd and those people, but his energy was just super low. So I love that song, but that performance just disappointed me.
Yeah, it wasn't it for me. And that's pretty much all I got. It just wasn't it for me. I watched it a couple times. It's hard to I know these performances, setting them up, it could be kind of difficult. But you kind of put yourself in a box, like physically and mentally, when you actually just sit in one place. You know what I mean? Like his whole performance was just in all those statues, and it just don't do it. It just ain't enough for the Grammys for me. Like if this is the Grammys, like I want to see a high level performance in the Grammys. Like that one wasn't it. So that one probably would get a 5. Like it wasn't that great for me. Doja Cat.
I actually didn't see Doja Cat.
I thought Doja Cat. If we gonna get to ranking them, Doja Cat's gonna be pretty high for me. We're gonna take. I'm gonna take points because Say So came out about 2015. It feel like, but like that song seems extremely old. But boy, she can perform, man. Like she really like every time I've seen her on any of these type of award shows. Unfortunately, it's always like Say So, or it's one of those songs. But Doja Cat got undeniable hits at this point in her career. Like she hasn't released something that's been bad. Like there was obviously some fuckery going on in between all that time. We ain't got to get into that, but but
JV vibes.
Yeah, I'll just the JV vibes is telling you. So she did have the JV vibes, but she kind of had. It was a really interesting like light show. It was like at the entrance, like Welcome to Planet so and so, and all that combined with her actually singing it, when you can actually tell that she's singing it, made it into a really good performance. I recommend that you watch it. I'll probably get at it. It'd probably be 8. Probably be about 8. It's gonna be probably 3rd or 4th on my list, which I know sounds crazy, but the 1 and 2 is undeniable. 1 and 2 is undeniable. Let's keep it pushing in. Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. I'll let you go first. I got an interesting take.
Let me just put this out there. I'm not riding around listening to Cardi B. I'm not riding around listening to Meg Thee Stallion. That's not my cup of tea. And again, kind of like I was saying with the baby, it's dope to see Cardi B still around, because I just knew she was going to be here today, going tomorrow. Same thing with Meg Thee Stallion. Like I kind of wrote them off like, yeah, they hot right now, but I don't know where they're going to be the next couple years. So to see them on stage like that, performing a song like WAP, it's like, and thinking of how big that song was, it's kind of crazy. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Up and It's Stuck. I'm not the biggest fan of WAP, but it's undeniable that Cardi B is a superstar. And it's dope to see, again, kind of like again with the baby, to see her come from social media to reality TV to a one viral hit song to being one of the biggest superstars in the game, to interviewing presidents and arguing with political commentators. It's like, yo, it's pretty dope to see her hold this position. Now, there was some controversy, but WAP is a very controversial song, and they kind of made sure that they made it. Well, I'm not saying they made it controversial, but it was definitely a lot of controversy with their performance, everything that they was doing. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with the criticism, but it's a dope strategy. If you're going to say WAP, you're going to perform it on national TV. Hey, take it there. So I appreciate the move, and I appreciate what you did.
Yeah, that's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way you can take it with a song like that. You just gotta go all in. We seen J-Lo on the pole at the Super Bowl. The lead, we can see Cardi B at the Grammys on the pole. Like fuck it. So here's the thing, and Cardi B fans are gonna hate me, but we had the pleasure of seeing Cardi B perform live at Rolling Loud a few years back, and it was disappointing. She seems very uncomfortable up there. Like I was talking about how Baby seemed confident. Cardi B seemed very uncomfortable during that whole performance. Like if you could see, like there was the one moment to me where it kind of stuck out was when she was on the bed and she had to do like a kind of sexy crawl, I guess you would, to the edge of the bed. Well, she stumbled out of that to start out with, so that was kind of bad anyway, because she kind of stumbled, damn near hit her face on the bed. She did make it over to the bed, but the whole time it didn't seem like she really felt like she was into it. Like, and it may be one because she's admitted herself that she was a little bit uncomfortable even making that song. That's not really her like that, right? Like she talks about shit, but it was never really this nasty. It wasn't like this level of vulgar language. Like it wasn't really there. So maybe that's why. But also, when we seen her in person, it wasn't very good. Like it just like she might not be that good of a performer. especially when you put her on stage with somebody like Meg Thee Stallion, who came out with all the confidence in the world. Like, she was right in her lane when she came out. She came out, did her shit. She like, oh, we in here. Like, we this is what I do. Like, so she came out seeming very confident, as to where Cardi B seemed, even in the dance move, it just felt kind of awkward. Like, it just felt a little bit clunky. And so I'm not sure why that is. Maybe she's like somebody like Summer Walker, who just kind of gets that type of anxiety now. Maybe that's kind of what happens with her. I'm sure there's a lot of artists like that just go out there and perform anyway. They, because you got to make money. So she did seem very awkward. The performance was vulgar, but as we expected it to be. I don't have any problems with that. Again, I'm a big fan of, turn it off. Tell your kids don't watch it. Then if you don't want to watch it, you don't want your kids to watch it. Turn the Grammys off. You don't have to watch the Grammys. There's a lot of things that you can watch. Who does watch the Grammys anyway? I don't know. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you anyway. But so yeah, it's about a 6 or 7. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It does remind me. I don't know where this was at. But I was comparing it to, remember Nicki Minaj performed Anaconda?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good performance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was something that was like a good performance. I don't know if it was at the Grammys, but it was at one of these award shows. And I got a lot of kickback as well. So it just kind of reminiscent of that, but it wasn't up to that standard.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because Up to me just sounds like one of her best songs, though.
Yeah, she's getting better as but you gotta think, like, she's not really an artist. She's the epitome of, I'm a star and I need a talent to stay relevant. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, she didn't start off as like a rapper. She started off as like, her personality is what makes her a star. Like, just her talking, her being funny, her being charismatic. That's Cardi B. The music is just there to like kind of sell. Like, okay, yeah, I'm a rapper, I'm a Grammy Award winner, I'm Grammy, all that stuff. But really, Cardi B is just herself. So performing and all of that, she's not really an artist, in my opinion. Not to say she can't grow into be one, and can't develop those skills, but just naturally, I don't think Cardi B like wanted to be an artist. It's just something that it's just a hustle for her, and she a hustler.
Yeah, she doing her thing though. Shout out to her, man. Take care, like Sweetie said. But like, last two we got, which to me I think are by far a notch above all the rest. So we're gonna start with Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak. I'm hoping you've seen that one, right?
Yeah.
No, you didn't see it?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's good.
I can imagine.
Bro. It was
because they're
good,
both
bro.
Like artists. Like,
dog, it was
exact
crazy.
Opposite of Cardi B. Bruno Mars is an artist, his band and everything. Anderson .Paak is an artist, like a performer. Bro. So I can imagine. And
they were singing. So it was they started out with 3 microphones and a singer, and singer at each one. Bruno Mars was at the front of the one. It's a triangle formation. They had another one over to the side, which is Anderson .Paak, and they had kind of the old school like Temptation vibe suits on, and they were singing this shit. And they would like switch out, and they would go. Bruno Mars would take the lead, and Anderson .Paak would take the lead. That shit was fantastic, but it was like a black background, and so whenever somebody would take the lead, they would get like bigger on the screen. Like, it was crazy. Like, it would get like bigger. It would seem like they was like, it looked like an old video. It looked like a Temptations video or something like that. Like, it was good. It was the best one yet. And Bruno Mars came ready to go. Like, Anderson .Paak was singing too, obviously, but Bruno Mars at the end, like, he ended it, smashed, bro. Smashed with the vocals, man. Yeah, it's not even close. If they continue on this path they're going on, bro, that album is gonna be crazy, man. And I'm gonna send you this so you can watch it after, because we got one more topic, so I'll let you watch it after. But yeah, you gotta go see that. That's a 9 at least.
Yeah, it's different when you have artists, like real, like it's different when you have somebody like a Post Malone, right? Like when he come on, he can make like something catchy and stuff like that. He can harmonize with the melody. But when you have somebody that can really sing, it's different. It's different when you can have like a Cardi B that can get the choreography or whatever like that. But when you see Beyonce up there, like really putting in a performance, is different. And I think Bruno Mars, like remember we watched him on the Super Bowl halftime show? Like that's when I knew, like, I need to stop sleeping on my guy, because he really does this.
No, he nice.
Anderson .Paak, like how he came up drumming, singing,
Nice.
playing the guitar. All it's like this is different. I put them in a totally different category of artists. Like they are real artists. So I'm mad that I didn't see it, but I'm excited to see it now that you.
Yeah, no,
reminded me about it.
that's a good one, dog. That gives you it's so good, bro. That's a 9 at least. That's a 9 at least, and then we'll go into one that I think is probably a 9 at least as well. These two are like, if I had to rank them, this would be kind of 1 and 2. So let's rank the other ones that we talked about. I know you didn't see Doja Cat, so we'll keep that one out. Is it safe to say Post Malone was the worst out of the ones we talked about?
Oh, absolutely, by far.
Okay,
by far worse.
Would Cardi B and them be next, or would it? Would you? Yeah.
Well,
and then
who's that? Who else is there too?
There's the baby, Roddy Ricch, Doja Cat, and that was the only one we talked about. So
yeah,
you didn't see Doja Cat though, so then
no,
it wasn't.
Much, so I can't.
So they'd had to be there. They'd probably be there for me too. I'd put Roddy Ricch in them next. I'd probably go Doja Cat, Silk Sonic, and then the last one we're talking about, which is the baby, with the bigger picture. He not the baby, excuse me, Lil Baby. Not that baby, that's my baby. I'm sorry. That's my baby. All right, well, that's Lil Baby. Hey, since we on the topic of subtitles, bro, why did I know you heard that A Boogie when he was like Young Metro making boo, but he was like singing it? Dog, that was the worst one, dog.
He was reaching.
Dog, that was the worst shit ever. Not Young Metro making boo. Nah, you know, bro. Don't say that ever again like that.
But Drake said it though.
Nah, I wouldn't hear it that way. Nah, Drake. Nah. A Boogie ain't Drake though, so you can you can say a lot of things when you Drake. But yeah, man, this one was really good. This was really good, great actually. It was the best one by far. It had the most choreography by far, and it's from somebody that you wouldn't expect it from. It's one of those treats that you gotta love. Lil Baby, it's just so crazy to watch him grow into what he is today, which is a full blown superstar in my opinion. From Wham Wham Wham, Bitch I'm the Baby to the type of rap that he provides now, the performance, it matches his growth. Like, it was beautiful. It was perfect. I mean, he had Killer Mike in there. He had Tamika Mori in there. We'll get into a little bit later, but what a choice of two people to pick for that too, for one. And then secondly, like the whole choreography from where he starts out at, you can see like buildings in the back burning. It's the whole riot set up for 2020. And he's just going through as he's rapping, and as he's rapping, what's happening in the background matches perfectly at every point. To where he gets to the ending where it's just a standoff between the police officers, him and the black people on one side and police officers on another side, and he's rapping the verse again. It was the best. It's like one of the best performances I've seen in a while, I would say.
Yes. It reminded me of two things. On a performance level, it reminded me of something that Kendrick would do. Like back in the day when he brought out Dave Chappelle, and then he was a prisoner of one, and then Dave Chappelle was skitting, and he'd go to another location. And it kind of reminded me of This Is America, like the video. Like,
yeah, it did.
So much going on in the background to kind of highlight everything that he's talking about. And I think that, like, we mentioned this last year, and we mentioned this a couple weeks, almost every time we talk about, there were so many like revolutionary songs last year about what was going on in the country and the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And I think Lil Baby's was probably the best one. And I think it's because he was actually spitting on there. And I mean, like, he was really talking that talk to the point where I knew he was talking that talk, but I never really gave it his just due. But just seeing him performing it live, like, I was really listening to every word that he was saying. And even to the point where he was saying, I ain't up here lying like I don't rap about selling drugs and killing people. But I did what I had to do because that's my environment. But in order to make some type of change, we got to start somewhere. And yo, it's bigger than black and white. And it's just like, yo, he really saying some things. And you see how he moving, you see the different moves he making. It's like, yo, he really one of them ones. Like, he just washed Drake on a song. You know what I mean?
Bro, that verse gets better and better.
I saw a TikTok of it, and I didn't even realize like how crazy it is. Like, Drake saying that hook.
gets better and better, bro. It gets better and better the more you listen to that verse.
It's like Meek had a tweet, bro, and it's like, are we? I think Lil Baby is slowly becoming a goat in front of our eyes. And just to highlight that verse, like, I'm not a goat, but I fit the description. It's like, yo, Lil Baby really, like, this was a moment in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's no turning back from this. Like, and I think the robbery was him not winning a Grammy, and then to show up and do something like this. I kind of wish like The Weeknd would have did something like this. Like, look, dog, I'm better than all this that you got going on right now, and here's why. And I think that Lil Baby did that, and there was some controversy with his performance too. But while on his performance, it was phenomenal, like phenomenal.
Yeah, the foundation is set for the rest of his career. He built that. Like he did that. You can argue he's already on floor one. Like he built his foundation. That to me is the start of a great artist. Like you have to have a foundation. You have to have a fan base. People have to know you nice. Like that's all that stuff is done. Like I'm not questioning his skill anymore. Like he's nice. Like he can do this. Not only can he do that, he's not just a street dude. Like that's like this stuff you don't expect this from a street dude like that. Like you expect that from someone like Kendrick, but Kendrick don't give you that street dude vibe like Lil Baby do, right? So Kendrick doing "We Gonna Be All Right" with the police car on stage and shit at the MTV Awards or wherever that was at. We expected that from him. Lil Baby, I would expect something that would be seen like from the Baby or Roddy Ricch, where he just kind of stand on stage and kind of just do his thing and just continues on about his day. He put some time and effort into that. I'll be surprised if he didn't put money into that because the setup was crazy and it was big. It was huge. Like where he was traveling from, like it was huge. And so yeah, A+ on that. At least a 9 for me. That's the best one of the night without question. Unless King want to talk about Billie Eilish, but we can just skip that for now.
Real quick though, before we get on, I'm tired of these people winning and then like, oh, you should have won, or you should have won, like how Billie Eilish did. I'm tired of that though. I feel like that's condescending.
Yeah, it is.
Your intention could be cool and all that, but you won. Let's get over it.
Take that,
Like when Adele won and broke the Grammy in half and gave half to Beyonce, talking about you inspire my black friends, and like we don't need
this
all
shit
that,
corny.
Bro.
This shit getting corny. Yeah.
So
nope, that's a no for me. Just take your shit. There's respectful ways to do it. Like, hey man, everybody else in this category, y'all did a good job, bro.
Yeah, hit me on the humble.
Like,
talk to her directly. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of
that shit trash. Well, something that's kind of serious. Let me get to it a little bit. During that performance, Tamika Mori, she had a kind of speech which I actually thought was really good. I also thought that Killer Mike did a great job too, but that didn't come without his consequences or maybe criticism, if you would. Samaria, is it Samaria? Samaria Rice, which is Samira Rice's mother, actually called out Tamika Mori and a few other people as well. And I'll see if I can throw that up on the screen for y'all, and I'll read just a little bit of what she said. She says she tried to stay off of this shit. Tamika and the crew, you bitches chasing clout along with Sony, Crump, and Lee. You've literally fucked your. Oof, she's mad. You've literally fucked our fight up. I hope not another family soul use y'all to represent them. Y'all might as well be junior pig cops. I'm mad as hell. But as she said, I'm mad as Yale. Like, she was mad. She was, she was mad. She was mistyping like letters. She's actually really upset about this. I'm tired of you Black Lives Matter, Tamika Mori and crew, bitches that's riding these families back, and y'all ambulance chasing attorneys, Ben Crump, Lee Merrick. Damn, this is crazy. Y'all have fucked up our fight, and y'all can kiss my ass too. Make it make sense. You can't work with the devil. It's easy to do. Fuck y'all. Man. She's just putting quotations all over. She mad. Like the way she's typing this out, like she's literally upset. So I'll start with this one. And Tamika Mori actually did respond, kind of admitting that we failed her. Like that's kind of what her whole response to that was. She wasn't disrespectful, which is good. You can't respond to that with that. It's especially you talking about a grieving mother. Still, we can't be responding to her disrespectfully. So I'll be careful with my words here. I don't think either side of this is necessarily wrong. I would have liked this conversation to be had a little bit more subtle maybe, without so much disrespect, without the bitches and the fuck y'all and basically calling people coons and cloud chasers. I could have dealt without that, but I'm not gonna act like I know how Samira Rice is feeling. I don't. I can't imagine even. Life is completely changed for her. It's completely different. I mean, somebody that she birthed only 12 years old. She only got to see him, make it to 12 years old. So she's hurting. So I'm not gonna really judge that. What I can say is it sucks that it just always seems to turn out that way. That we always change our aim to each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it always seems to end this way, no matter who we talk about, no matter what situation. It always seems that we got other black people aiming at other black people, calling them out their name, doing this, doing that. I don't know what actually happened between them. I don't know what actually ended up going about this case. I know that the cop is still free, so I know that happened. I know there was a settlement deal, so I know somebody, attorney, that happened. And I know that none of that is going to bring Tamira back. You know what I mean? Like nothing that Tamika Mori could have did, nothing that any of these other people that she talked about could have did would have brought him back. So I don't really know what the best outcome could have been for this one. But it's hard to criticize either party. It's hard to criticize Tamika Mori because she's out here in the field doing what she can. Like, I don't doubt her intentions. They might not always work out best. Might not agree with everything that she does, but I think she's doing a great job of what she can. Like, every situation that Tamika Mori has to go and be about is a fucked up situation to begin with. She don't come around with good situations. She only comes to help bad situations. That's the most time we hear from her is when a bad situation's happening. Now, you can say that might be gaslighting or something like that. Like, you see her around and this bad stuff happening. Maybe you could say that, but she's out here not trying to make situations worse. She's trying to make them better. So it's hard to criticize her for not being able to succeed on all of those accounts. But it's also hard to be mad at Samira Rice because, again, she's grieving. I don't know how she feels. I don't have nothing like that ever happened to me in my life. I can't relate at all. So it's hard for me to say, don't be upset or don't lash out or anything like that. I wish she wouldn't, because I want to know what exactly she's upset about. From these tweets that I got, I don't really know. Like, I don't know why now. Like, what's making her so upset now? What about Tamika Mori being on the Grammys made her so upset? Because Tamika Mori's been everywhere for years now. Like, we've seen her on the biggest of stages several times. So what triggered her now that made her so upset to lash out like this? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
So, like you said, I think both sides they have their points where I think they're right, and then both sides are kind of wrong. And I think that it's hard to say, yo, you lost your kid, but I need you to act this way when you're expressing yourself, just because she didn't ask to be put in the spotlight. She didn't, she's not a celebrity. She's only in this situation because her son got killed. And it's a difficult situation to be in. And I kind of read more because she had a lengthy, like, she posted a lot on social media. So I read into those, and I watched or listened to another interview that she did. And one of the things that came across to me is that I don't think she has a personal issue with Tamika Mori specifically. I think is what Tamika Mori represents. I think the big issue came with Benjamin Crump, the attorney, because he was actually the first attorney on the Samira Rice situation, but then she actually fired him once she figured out, like, he was moving in a way that wasn't really trying to get her son justice, but more trying to elevate his career and kind of draw more media attention, and wasn't really fighting the same fight. So she actually fired him, got another counsel, but then when the settlement came, she still had to pay him. And when you look at the track record of Benjamin Crump, that's why she called him an ambulance chaser. He is on all these high profile cases of police injustices and people murdered. So it's kind of like you're making your career off of these tragedies. And she sees people like Tamika Mori, and she pointed out her because Tamika Mori has now a huge platform. Like you said, she's on the ground, and every time there's a big injustice, we see her. And we see her now. She has book deals. She has podcast deals. Now she's on the stages. And Samaria Rice's gripe is that y'all are making these careers and y'all are getting all these financial benefits and y'all are getting all these platforms on the backs of our suffering. And it now you mask it as, yo, we're doing it for the Tamira Rices and we're evoking their names and the George Floyds and the Breonna Taylors. But it's so many more people that don't get get that recognition. It's so many more of those people that need your help and need that guidance and need that money that you're raising, and you seem to be benefiting from that platform. And I think that was triggering to her. And she said it. She's like, I hate that y'all had to put me in this position to say this, but I feel like I'm putting a price tag on my child when really I'm just calling out the injustice of it all. So like you mentioned, they had a settlement, and I think after everything was paid, she was given about $800,000. And I think the dad got paid, sister got paid, aunt got paid, lawyers got paid, all these people got money, and she ended up with about $800,000. And I think just a couple of weeks ago, it came out like the Black Lives Matter organization has raised $90 million in the past year. And she's saying like all these people are profiting off of our pain. All these people are profiting off of these injustices and invoking these names when they're getting the benefits of it, and they're not having to sacrifice, and they're not living with the same pain that these mothers are and that these family members are of these people that are getting killed, but they're getting the benefit of it. They're getting all the money. They're getting the platforms. They're on the Grammys. They're getting these podcast deals, these movie deals, these book deals on the backs of our suffering. So I feel like she highlighted a point that I wasn't really aware of. I didn't know that this was even a perspective. I thought that this was all one united fight, but it seems as though maybe the Black Lives Matter movement is kind of separate from these different agendas, from these different families. And although I think her approach could have been better, I think that, you know, some of the vulgarity of it was a little bit, it turned a couple people off. I think that her sentiment, what she was saying, was a unique perspective that I didn't consider before she went off on social media.
Yeah, man. I didn't watch the interviews either because I typed in a bunch of stuff on YouTube and I seen a couple things. I didn't know which was. Everyone I clicked on is one of those people just reacting to the video, and I'm like, where is the video? But it's tough, man. So here's what I thought. Here's what I initially thought. This may make no sense. I don't know for sure. In my head, it did, but man, let me explain it as best as I can. If Martin Luther King was around during this time, don't you think he probably would have been making money too? Ain't that just like this time?
Yeah, but if you see, I'm making a whole career off of evoking these names, and I could say I could evoke Breonna Taylor all day, but if that's not my kid, if that's not my girl, if that's not my wife or whatever like that, I can benefit from it, and I can play a strategy to where I can make money off of that. And that's what a lot of people are doing. Like these lawyers and these attorneys, they're getting paid from all these settlements. They're getting paid from all this, and they're chasing that. It's a reason why these George Floyd cases are so prominent. Because he about to get I think he got like a 20-something million. Like his estate got about over 20 million. That's big money. And some of these attorneys are going after that. Some of these people are making platforms talking about these injustices. I think Tamika Mori has a podcast now talking about these different things. So you're profiting off of our pain. And I think that when it's like she was homeless after Samira Rice got killed because she couldn't, she had to go to a homeless shelter, and she's still trying to fundraise and make money to kind of build up his legacy. But you got these other corporations that's getting $90 million in donations, and they got these big platforms, and they're who we're looking to and say, yo, that's the people that we should champion. But you got these mothers that's like, y'all lost my son, and all I got to show for was 800,000. That's what she's saying. Like, I feel bad even bringing that up, but y'all out here making millions. Y'all out here getting movie deals and book deals. Why are we not getting that? We're the ones that suffered. Yeah. We're the ones that had to pay that price. What did y'all get? And I think that's where her anger comes from.
But what's the alternative is my thing. What's the fix? Do they do it for free? Do we want people to be doing this for free? Certainly not attorneys. Because if they don't, somebody's going to get paid. You're going to have to pay an attorney. So that even if that 20 million wouldn't went to him, it would have went to somebody.
Yeah, but it seems like he's always the one. Like,
yeah,
it's like he's chasing around. That's why she called him an ambulance chase. Like, oh, bet George Floyd. Okay, I'm gonna be on it. Benjamin Crump. Boom, put my name on it. Okay, Breonna Taylor. All right, bet Benjamin Crump. And it's like, I'm not saying that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying what she's saying is right. I'm not saying that everything she says is the gospel or anything like. But I can understand her perspective given her experience, especially because she had a bad experience with him. She had a bad experience with Sean King. She had a bad experience with these people that are prominent names when it comes to police and justice that make their careers off of this when they don't necessarily give and they don't grieve the same as these mothers that lost their children.
Yeah, but and that's what we stuck in a hard place, and there's nothing to be done. That's my thing.
That's what I'm saying. They're both right and they both wrong at the same time.
There's nothing to be done. You can't ask people to do it for free. They ain't gonna have no livelihood to maintain. Like so, and we can question their we can question what they wanted, what they're actually trying to do, their motives, but at the end of the day, we never know. I mean, all we could do is judge them about, are they making situations better or worse? And even if I understand she only got 800K, and that's obviously that's not worth a life, and she would rather have her son back. But that 800K is better than nothing. You know, like if she, I'm not victim blaming at all. I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm just saying, is the situation better or is it worse? Does that make sense?
But that's the thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, what do we have to show for it?
Yeah.
Like, y'all making all this money, y'all on all these platforms, y'all on our stuff, but what do we have to show? What has changed?
I do want to know where that $90 million is going to Black Lives Matter. They ain't got a dollar for me, so I don't really know where that money come from, for one. But for two, where's that money going to?
And that's my point. Like, I didn't think about that. Like, I thought, that's just the movement. We all ride with it. But it's like, y'all making 90 million. It's like, it's about accountability, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yes, y'all on these platforms. Yes, y'all are the faces and everything like that. But who's holding y'all accountable? Yeah. Y'all up here making all this stuff. Y'all making all this money. Y'all going these all the platforms. You calling out the president. You saying we all until freedom. That sounds good. But what are we actually doing? Because it's clear you're reaping the benefits. You're doing well. You're good. You're protected. Mm-hmm. You got money. You got these deals. You're good. You're taken care of. And what you saying sounds good. But what's actually being done for the community? Because me, as somebody who's directly involved in not on the case of Samaria Rice, she is directly involved and she's directly impacted by the results of that. She doesn't see a difference. She don't have the same opportunities you have. She doesn't get the same type of benefits. She's out here still on the groundwork working, and she's saying that some of these other settlements from these lawyers and some of these other movements from Black Lives Matter are actually making it harder for her fight because she has her own individual fight. That's these are her words. This is my son. This is my case that I'm doing. All that stuff, all these rallies, whatever, that's cool for you. But this is my family member that got killed. I have to fight that fight. And sometimes y'all making it harder for me. And I think, again, I don't know what the alternative is, but it's a good point that I did not know existed, to be honest.
Yeah, and I do think knowing that and knowing all that, that's all good information from her. And I'm glad she was able to come out and speak to that. And actually explain what the tweets is about. I can understand now why she would be as mad as she was in those tweets. What I think that one simple thing to me is, if Black Lives Matter, that organization, really cared and they making that much money, they got millions on millions like that, they should be paying for lawyers for these people, for one. That's like the best use of that money I could think of, like off tops. Outside of just giving it back to Black communities. But if you really about that life like you say you is, then pay for them people lawyers, because you know they're gonna need one, and you know it's gonna cost millions, and you got the millions. So pay for them people if that's what you want to do. But that's just a suggestion. I'm not sure what the actual workaround for that would be. But yeah, it's we gotta figure out where that money's going. That's a lot of money. That's way too much. That's way too much money for. I don't even know what Black Lives Matter does. You know what I mean? Like I don't really know what the outcome. And that's what I'm saying. I know what Tamika Mori does. I see what she do. Right. I know what these attorneys do. I see what they do. So I'm not on either side of this. It's just unfortunate. Again, it just seems like there's no out to it. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think just seeing the Judas and the Black Messiah and seeing the Black Panther Party, and granted, they weren't perfect. They may have done some questionable things, but their impact to the community was real. They had schooling programs, they had food programs, they had jobs and everything like that. And it's like, we need more of that. Like, instead of just Black Lives Matter, let's donate. Let's get a Black Lives Matter after school program. Let's get a Black Lives Matter food bank or Black Lives Matter hospital and stuff like that's where I feel like these criticisms can kind of become a little less damaging. And again, I don't think Tamika Mori was a representation of her anger. I don't think that this was directed at Tamika Mori specific. I think she just represented everything to Samaria Rice. But I feel like the criticism is, all y'all making this money, all of y'all profiting off of it. Something more can be done.
Mhm.
And I think it's okay to hold people accountable, but it shouldn't dissolve into, tearing our people down.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, let's get into it, man. But damn, man, we gotta get these spicy hours. But that we could talk about that forever. I just hate how it always has to end like that. Like we always got to aim our set our sights on another black person. I just don't know. I just wish I had a better way to say it, but it's just unfortunate.
One less lonely nigga.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, man. Let's get into these positive shout outs. So I got one. I'm gonna give my positive shout out to all of the newer artists, and by newer I mean like 2015, maybe around somewhere 2014 up until probably 2020, 2021, somewhere around that area. There was a time where we didn't really feel good about hip hop going forward, right? Like we see 21 Savage on that, XXL freestyle. Like Lil Uzi didn't seem like somebody we want, whether it be Trippie Redd or, there was a time where you just like it don't look too good, right? There was even a time where J. Cole kind of was going back and forth at dudes like Lil Pump and people like that. I think why I want to give them the positivity shout outs is because the cream really does rise. Like it really does rise to the top, and everything else was left at the bottom, right? Like rappers like Lil Pump and even Kodak Black to a certain degree kind of are left. You can see where they at and where they, where they stand in their craft. Rappers like Lil Baby, The Baby, Meg Thee Stallion, 21 Savage, they've grown to be superstars. And don't let me forget Lil Uzi either. They've grown to be superstars. They've grown to have an actual fan base, an actual craft that they're good at, right? You can tell that they actually want to be rappers. They want to be good at what they do. And that's a good thing for us going forward through hip hop because we need that. We got to have people that still care about it. During that time, it just seemed like it was such a joke, right? During like 2015, 2014, we just seen like all these dudes with the colored dreads and this and that and the random diamonds on their face. It just seems like weird. And we don't want that. Like we just don't want to have that. And those same rappers have grown to become people. We talk about Lil Baby now. Look at him, dog. Like he's one of the best out right now. Like he's looking to crack my top 5 with another great album. Like he's doing that. He's an elite like that. The Baby is doing phenomenal. Meg Thee Stallion, phenomenal. 21 Savage is in magazines. He's like a fashion model these days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this stuff is it always works out this way, right? It really, you can tell the people that are going to rise, they're going to rise. It's going to take a little bit of time, but everybody from that class is not a great rapper. I'm not saying that by any means, but it's good to know that when the Drake, the Kendrick, the J. Cole era is ending, it does feel that we'll have somebody there to actually take that torch and run with it. So shout out to them for that.
Yeah, that's dope because they just mean a lot. The artistry, and then you see how powerful their platforms can be. So that's definitely appreciated. And speaking of somebody using a platform, I wanted to give my positivity shout out to Jeremy Lin. And I think that with the recent uptick and recent movement of people committing hate crimes against the Asian American community, I think Jeremy Lin has been on the forefront for the past year of just raising awareness and bringing attention to these hate crimes. And I think that many will say that these have been elevated because of the coronavirus and just ignorance being spewed that it all comes from China and every Chinese American has something to do with it. So they're the enemy. And we've seen recent terrorist attacks, and we've seen an increase in uptick of hate crimes against Asian Americans. I feel like Jeremy Lin has just been on the forefront fighting, using his platform however he sees fit to kind of put the Stop Asian Hate to the forefront. I'm not sure if he coined the term, but he definitely popularized it to where it is now a global trending topic to raise awareness to this injustice. And I think that just the way we highlight LeBron, the way we highlight these artists, the way we highlight everybody in the community, they may not be the Tamika Moris out here on the front line. They may not be the people who are actually out here doing the work, but they have a platform, and using that platform to at least raise awareness, that may be all they can do. Again, everybody can't be on the front lines. Everybody can't sacrifice their life, sacrifice their time, and have the expertise. But anything to bring to the fight and to kind of bring us closer to equality, I respect that. And he definitely is doing that in his role and raising awareness. So shout out to Jeremy Lin for his role in raising awareness for Stop Asian Hate.
Yeah, man, it's a sad time, man. It definitely is a sad time. So it's good to see somebody's actually doing some good, as good as they can. So, I think that's all we got, though, man. That's all we got. Unless you got.
Hey, remember that one time we played 2K? You beat me by like 40 points, and I was playing with Jerry Lynn. That's all.
Stop it! Stop it! Wherever this is going, stop it! Stop the train now, bro. That's all.
Good to be.
Bro.
Well, yeah, man, we cold, dog.
Lynn was nice though. Like people act like, bro. People really act like Lynn didn't have like a two. It was like only like 2 to 3 years where he was like that, but he was like that for a little bit, dog.
Yeah,
he was like that for a little bit with the Knicks, dog. Like he was shooting game winners over Kobe.
Yeah, bro. That Lynn sanity was crazy.
Come on, dog. Like Lynn was dropping people, step back, hit the three, going to the rack, hitting all type of crazy layups, dog. Lynn was nice, bro.
Yeah.
It was nice. But it only lasted a couple years, but more years than I had. So
Facts.
But yeah, man. We got anything else? We missed anything?
I do want to say we did cover Meg Thee Stallion performance, her solo performance. She had the whole bakery out, though. Like she didn't have the cake out.
She had her own joint,
man. She had her own performance with she performed Savage and I forgot what else. Man, Body. She had Body. She performed that. Though she ain't had a cupcake. She ain't had a cake. She had the whole bakery out on TV, dog.
Well, then I'll be tuning in very shortly.
And I give that one a 10 out of 10.
I would get that one. I'm gonna come back and cut it in another clip. Ain't even gonna be looking like the same. It's gonna be me in my car. Like, yeah. So I just wanted to. I just want to make sure I got this one in here. Meg Thee Stallion was phenomenal. Did Chloe Haley
bakery out? Probably.
Honestly, I think it's the same one that be twerking though. It's the same one that be singing. I don't know though, bro. I feel bad.
Nothing wrong.
All right. All right. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We're gonna go ahead. One of us needed some Jesus. We need to go talk to Jesus. So, got any closing statements?
Nah, man. Just continue to step in the name of love. Just give me a hand.
Thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Little Life Pod. Oh my.
Who am I? The girls them sugar.